The online narratives surrounding Derek Carr are simply absurd. There's a good chance that the Raiders signal caller is the best option for the New York Jets in 2023 and beyond. So let's take a look at his All-22 from last season and I'll show you why Jets fans should be excited about Derek Carr. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? It's Luke here from PLAJ, and today we are breaking down Raiders quarterback for now, Derek Carr. A lot of talk on social media about Aaron Rodgers, all the different options for the Jets. They need to be looking at Derek Carr. He's a safe option, but he's also still got very high caliber play in him, and that's what we're going to break down right now. We're going to start by looking at his red zone efficiency. The Jets were terrible in the red zone in 2022, no matter who the quarterback was. They were 31st overall, and look, the Raiders weren't exactly pulling up trees. They were 25th in red zone efficiency, but Derek Carr was not a primary reason for that. Let's take a look at some of his tight window throws and why that is so appealing to the New York Jets. First one here against the Chargers early in the season. He's going to throw to Davante Adams on the out route coming off the little stutter step release. Have a look at the ball placement under duress from Derek Carr out of the shotgun. Just puts this ball on a line to the perfect position. You'll see it better from the behind view. Derek Carr, you're going to see internal pressure coming from the right hand side of his offensive line. Does a fantastic job to hang in there, set his base, and look at the location of this ball to Davante Adams. When he releases this, there's not a lot of separation for Davante on the outside, but Derek Carr throws him open with the location of this ball on the out route. A great job from Derek Carr, withstanding the pressure, standing tall in the pocket, and just putting that ball in the perfect location. You saw a ton of this from Derek Carr in 2022. What about throwing over the middle of the field? Tight windows. We always hear it. It's the toughest place on the field to throw because you don't have the vertical routes to stretch the safeties. Watch how Derek Carr takes care of that against the New England Patriots. You're going to see number 21, center field safety. Look how Derek Carr tries to manipulate him with his eyes off the snap. Derek Carr's eyes go hard left, our left of screen, off the snap. Try and draw that safety away to find that first slant. It's not open. He gets off it. And look at the coverage here from the corner on that second slant. But Derek Carr still zips this football in. Ooh, that is a big boy throw. This is an elite NFL throw. Derek Carr, second read, rips that ball in. Again, look at the location. Look at the coverage. This man's not open, but he throws Hollins open because of fantastic location, great velocity. It just doesn't get any better than that from Derek Carr. One more time at full speed. Eyes go to his right, open up the window, not there, and zip that ball in on a line. Touchdown, Raiders. The Jets could use that in the red zone. Another example here from Derek Carr against the Tennessee Titans this time. This one is about patience and having a bit of touch on a red zone throw. I'll show it to you at full speed. Davante Adams really patient with his release, and Derek Carr puts it straight on top of the safety's head. What I like about this play is that he reads the coverage so well. You could think here they've got a safety buzzing to the right-hand side of your screen, that they're doubling Davante Adams, but they're not. They're worried about that inside route, that in-breaking route. That leaves Adams one-on-one on the slot corner. Great release, great patience, and look at the location. I mentioned it off the top. His ability to put this ball over the safety's head in a position where he can't see the ball, he can't make a play on the ball, and it's all Davante Adams. You're going to get a great look at it from the back view as well. Derek Carr's location, accuracy, timing in the red zone are key. The Jets really need this after Mike White and Zach Wilson struggled. Bang, look at that location. Put it on top of the safety's helmet. Go and get it, Davante Adams. Derek Carr made play after play. In a year where people thought it was a down year, I thought he played extremely well. But Derek Carr can also make these type of throws. This is a great back shoulder fade in the red zone, a route you see all the time. A guy like Garrett Wilson or Corey Davis is going to love this type of throw. He throws him open. From under center, the location of this ball from Derek Carr on the back shoulder is absolutely perfect. The only guy who can make this play is Darren Waller. Have a look at when he throws the ball. No separation again. It's been a theme of these red zone clips. But when he throws the ball, the accuracy and the location, he throws the receiver open. I'm not trying to be repetitive. I'm just trying to make a point here. Derek Carr's location is a huge part of why this Raiders offense was successful last year. He's an extremely accurate and efficient quarterback in the red zone, and I think that's going to bode very well for him if he plays with gangrene. One more example to finish this section of the video. Derek Carr throwing over the middle. You always hear, put it on their face mask. Tight end coming across from left to right and just absolutely throws a dime on a line on the face mask, just like you're taught, in between a tight window, squeezes it in. He stops him just so he doesn't get hit by the safety. But look at the outcome. People talk about box scores, and Derek Carr was second in the NFL in interceptions. There were 4 or 5 tip balls that should have been touchdowns or big plays that ended up being negative plays for the Raiders offense. Derek Carr is efficient in the red zone, he's accurate, and that arm has more juice than a lot of people think. A lot of people have this perception of Derek Carr as a statue in the pocket, a guy who can't make plays like a Patrick Mahomes or a Justin Herbert, and I get it, because in a vacuum he can't, but he's still extremely precise and accurate throwing on the move, and that's what we're going to break down now from his 2022 All-22. First clip here in the red zone, you're going to see Derek Carr sprint out to the right. I talked about it in the red zone section just earlier. The location on this football, the accuracy this time rolling to his right on a design sprint out, cut the field in half. When he delivers this ball and makes a decision, that's the picture he's looking at. There is no separation, there is no window. But the location of the football, the ability to lead him into space to allow him to make an almost uncontested catch, is all because of Derek Carr. I love his accuracy on the move. You saw it time after time, particularly rolling to his right, turns his shoulders, gets that ball in the perfect location. This was something that surprised me with how proficient Derek Carr was throwing on the run. This might have been my favorite throw of the year from Derek Carr against the Titans. Kind of muddy pocket, has a bit of time, can't quite find Darren Waller. Look at him break, contain, and deliver an absolute strike. This is an incompletion because Waller actually didn't get his feet down, but it's Derek Carr's alertiveness in the pocket, his ability to break free. I'll talk about that up next. But again, look at the accuracy rolling right. That ball is just thrown on an absolute dime. Derek Carr to Waller. It's going to bring the Jets' tight end game to a whole new level. But again, it's the accuracy rolling out, breaking, contain, making a play outside of structure. That's something that Derek Carr is very, very underrated at doing. Against the Seattle Seahawks, a huge overtime win for the Raiders late in the season when they still had a bit of a sniff to make the playoffs. Derek Carr, again, realizing that this pocket's a little bit muddy. They've got a guy crushing from the outside, break, contain, and just whip that ball to Devontae Adams. It's arm strength. It's just fluidity in space, his ability to throw on the move. Very natural for him. I think Jets fans will be surprised by this because I mentioned it. There's a perception that he's a bit of a statue, that he can't make plays outside of structure. I'm telling you he can, and he's very good at it. Now, one of the last examples I want to look at against the Houston Texans, same kind of thing. Rolling to the left of screen, his right, big flamboyant play action. And then look at the location of this throw. He waits. It's the patience to allow Hunter Renfrow to cross the linebacker. Zoom! That ball is on a line. Great play from Renfrow. You'll see that a little bit from him out of the slot. But it's Derek Carr's ability to be patient enough to understand that he has to wait for him to clear. And again, that location, it's a little low, but that's an absolute dime from Derek Carr. That's the kind of stuff we were expecting from Zach Wilson. It didn't come to fruition, but Derek Carr was really, really good in this area in 2022. Another area of Derek Carr's game that I think he gets a lot of heat for is his awareness in the pocket and his pocket movements. I'm going to touch on it later in the video. Yes, he takes some sacks. Yes, there are times where I wish he would make a decision quicker, but I think his feel and ability to negate a muddy pocket is actually, again, quite underrated. That's what we're going to look at here. First clip against the Chargers from earlier in the season. He played a fantastic game. You're going to see he gets pressure from the right-hand side of the screen from Joey Bosa. He steps up and delivers a dime to the running back. From the back angle, you're going to see it perfectly. Okay, here we are. Number 97, right-hand side of your screen. He's going to pressure him as Joey Bosa. Derek Carr's going to have to step up and to the left-hand side of your screen. Snap. Step up, find a little comfortable spot, reset your feet, keep your eyes downfield, and lead the running back for a touchdown. One more time at full speed. Great job moving up in the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield. That's how you do it, and that's the kind of pocket navigation I liked from Derek Carr. Another example, this time against the Denver Broncos. Huge performance, some great late throws in this overtime win. This time the pressure is going to come from the left-hand side of the Broncos formation, the right-hand side for Derek Carr, and he does a great job just stepping up. Straight step up, avoids the pressure, and again, finds Jacobs this time, and it's a huge gain. He rumbles all the way downfield. But it's just Derek Carr's innate ability to feel, I've got pressure right here. I've got a man bending around the edge. I'm in pressure. Step up, reset your feet, and make that throw. Yes, it's wide open, but it's about how he navigates and gets to that throw. You got to find the time to make and deliver that pass, and Derek Carr does exactly that. Against the Tennessee Titans, watch it at full speed. Derek Carr, this might be, again, I said it before, but the best throw of the season. A great job delivering a ball outside the numbers on a go route. You're going to hear me talk about that a little later in the video, but once again, it's his ability to feel, to step up. This is a pretty clean pocket, but again, move up, step up, and throw a guy open. When he delivers this football, you can see this man's not open. He's still got 5-yard cushion on the corner, but he sees him square his hips, stop his feet, and Derek Carr delivers a strike deep down the field, outside the numbers, something he did at an extremely proficient rate in 2022. But it all starts with the pocket movement, the ability to climb the pocket, to step up, and then to make that throw. Love it from Derek Carr. A couple more here, this time against the Chargers in the reverse fixture. Derek Carr, you're going to see him navigate the pocket. This time, just little movements. Look how he feels the pressure from number 69 inside. He swims to the inside, he gets his hand up. Shuffle your feet, reset your base, deliver a strike on the crossing route, the shallow cross. It just doesn't get any better than that. It's very simple things, but the simplicity is what brings success. Having the ability to wade the pocket, to find the man, to keep your eyes downfield, that's what Derek Carr showed me he could do. The Jets were lacking in this area. Look at that. Very simple, very clean, but it's a big game when it could have been a negative play. Against the Jags, another game where he was kind of up and down, but Derek Carr off of play action, something he loves to do, feels pressure coming from the interior and then delivers the strike to the tight end. Again, watch this. You're going to see him feel this pressure coming. They have the stunt coming with that end looping back to the inside. Derek Carr wades through the pressure, identifies, steps up, is decisive, and then delivers the strike. Yes, it's wide open, and I understand the throw in isolation isn't that impressive. But what I'm breaking down for you and trying to accentuate is his ability to make these moves, these subtle movements in the pocket, and give him time to make those throws. Another narrative that's become pretty popular online, especially from Raiders fans, is that Derek Carr can't hang tough in the pocket anymore. He can't make those big boy throws with pressure in his face and take those hits and bounce back. I just got to say I disagree. It was there on the film from 2022. First example, against the Seattle Seahawks. He's going to see, just like we did in the last play, this stunt, looping outside linebacker from the inside. Derek Carr takes a massive hit and delivers a strike into the hole against cover 6. He does a fantastic job. You can see it from the back view. Derek Carr out of shotgun, motioning his receiver from the outside. You're going to see the stunt leads to interior pressure. Carr takes this hit. He knows this hit's coming. He can feel it, has to double pump the throw, and still finds Hollins for a big gain. He stood tough. He delivered the throw. It was a strike, but he knew this hit was coming. He's a tough quarterback. I don't want to hear that he can't stand in there and take hits because I saw it time after time on the tape. Against the Tennessee Titans. I think this is the third time I've said it in this video. All talking about throws in the same game. This might actually be my favorite Derek Carr throw from 2022. It's the pressure and it's the accuracy and how tight this window is. Derek Carr takes the hit. You can see him here as he's delivering the football. But look at this location. Oh my goodness, to throw this ball over the corner's outstretched reach to hit that target is just phenomenal. Have a look at him in the pocket. He's got a bit of time, but eventually there's pressure. He takes a big hit from 2 angles and still delivers this throw. Look at the accuracy. Look at the location on this ball. It is precise. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. We haven't seen this from a Jets quarterback ever. This man can still stand in the pocket and take hits. I don't want to hear it. There are enough examples. Derek Carr's got toughness. He's got that accuracy. He loves throwing the ball deep, especially off play action. Last example. Against the Chargers, he loved throwing to Darren Waller down the seam, hitting his target. He loves throwing off play action. I just mentioned it then. But this is a great example of having pressure from both edges. You can see the pulling guard loses, the tackle at left tackle also loses. Derek Carr's got 2 guys in his face just hunting him, but he gets rid of that ball quickly. He finds Waller down the seam, and it's a big, big game. It's about understanding the pocket, but it's about being able to stand tough, take those hits, deliver the strike. As I said, Derek Carr can still do it. You don't have to worry about that if you're a New York Jets fan. An area that Zach Wilson really struggled in 2022 was his intermediate ball placement. It's something that really fell apart with his footwork, and it really caused the demise of the New York Jets offense. You saw Garrett Wilson get frustrated. It just wasn't clicking for the Jets, especially in this middle intermediate part of the field. Derek Carr had a lot of success there. This one against the Chargers, perfect example. Tight window throw, out of shotgun. Look at him zip this ball over the linebacker's ear. and fit it in a really, really tight window. Derek Carr does a great job setting his feet. Again, little pocket movement. Look how he shifts to his left-hand side. Feel the pressure, find the space, throw with anticipation with a man at his feet, and drop that ball in the intermediate zone to Darren Waller. That is a spectacular throw. Against the Jacksonville Jaguars, he's going to throw this ball from the slot on the left-hand side of their formation. You're going to see this out route or this sail route, and Derek Carr just delivers an absolute strike. I'll let it play at full speed. Look at him fit this ball between two defenders. This is a covered throw, once again, like I talked about in the red zone reps, but he throws him open. His ability to beat two men with his arm strength and with his location. Have a look at these two defenders. They both think they're a chance of intercepting this ball, but it's location. The only guy who's catching that is his receiver, and that's exactly how it plays out. Derek Carr, efficient footwork, nice base width, and then rips that throw on a line. Just beautiful. This throw against the Denver Broncos might be his most improbable completion in the entire season. This is this little fade route from the bottom of screen from Davante Adams. As we let it roll at full speed, have a look at the frozen rope that Derek Carr throws. How do you defend that? The corner played this absolutely perfectly, but Derek Carr zips it behind his ear straight in the window to Davante Adams. Like, I've got no idea how you make that throw. There's a perception that Derek Carr is, I think, a very middling quarterback. He doesn't have elite traits. You told me this guy doesn't have a plus arm in the NFL. This isn't a top 10 potential arm. He made plenty of these throws, and boy, were they impressive. Last one, we're going to look at him throwing an out route. Something that's very simple, but it's a staple of these West Coast offense that he's going to see this time with Nathaniel Hackett if he joins the Jets. You're going to see Derek Carr under center, good footwork, get to his read very quickly. You can see the cushion, which means he's going to throw this ball to Hollins. Eyes and base are set up, leaks away a little bit with his footwork. You want to see him step into that throw. The corner drives downhill. This could be an interception if this ball isn't thrown perfectly. Look at that location. If you could hand it to the receiver 25 yards away in any spot, that's the position you would drop the football. Great big boy throw from Derek Carr. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but Derek Carr loves throwing the ball vertically. He loves taking shots, and I'd say he's a go ball specialist. Is that going to fit perfectly in Nathaniel Hackett's offense? Maybe, maybe not. But the Jets definitely need to stretch the field, and they have the horses to do so in the receiving room, and even with Conklin, if he has a bit of a bounce back, even though he put up good numbers in 2022. It's a real strength of Derek Carr's game. He's the game winner against the New England Patriots. He's going to throw to our old friend, number 84, Cole on the outside. Derek Carr out of shotgun. The delivery and placement of this ball, again, on top of the corner's helmet. Look at where this lands. There's no way he can make a play. That's Cole's ball or nobody's ball, and it's a touchdown for the Raiders. But he's so confident. He's so accurate, throwing that ball down the field, taking these shots. It's really a huge strength of his game. Against the Jacksonville Jaguars, throwing to the bottom of his screen to Davante Adams. Little hesitation release, beats the corner. Not a huge window though. He's going step for step. They say if he's even, he's leaving, but this isn't wide open. Again, a fantastic location, manages to squeeze it over the corner, and it's a touchdown as he finds that single man coverage, which he's always looking for on the outside. He wants to throw to that alert receiver that a lot of people will call it. Does a great job here throwing to Adams. That's the connection he can have with Garrett Wilson on the outside. And this time from the back view, I loved this throw against the Rams. Overall, not his best game of the season, but it just shows how nice his ball placement is. What a pretty ball he throws. Again, this isn't wide open. This is throwing with anticipation and touch down the sideline on these vertical throws, finding Davante Adams one-on-one when he knows that safety can't come over and help, and just an absolute strike. Look at that ball, man. That's just beautiful. I loved this from Derek Carr. Thought it was a great angle, showing off the arm strength. Nice job setting that base, great base width. And that's a very, very accurate throw. And last one I want to look at. Against the Chiefs, you're going to see, again, another huge throw down the stretch to almost pull out this game. If Davante Adams got his feet down a bit later, this would have been a win. Ironically, we saw this against the Chiefs last week in the AFC Championship game. From the outside right-hand screen, almost this little up-and-go stutter from Davante Adams. Derek Carr climbs that pocket, and look at the location. Talk about dropping it in a bucket. We saw him at the Pro Bowl throwing those targets. That's what you've seen in this video. Derek Carr is an extremely accurate quarterback on all three levels. Step up in the pocket, climb. Man, that's a big boy throw to Devontae. I love watching Derek Carr throw the ball deep. We haven't had this element from a Jets quarterback in a very long time, and I gotta be honest with you, it really excites me. Okay, now we're on to the weaknesses part of the video. You can see on screen, double clutch Carr. Derek Carr, as I just mentioned, is very accurate. That's not an issue for me with his game at all. It's not like what we saw from Zach Wilson. When he changes his mind, he alters the decision he wants to make in the pocket and he pulls that football down, that's when he starts to run into trouble. First example here against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Derek Carr out of shotgun. You can see, goes to throw, little double pump, changes his mind, and ends up floating that ball up. It should be an interception if the safety reads the flight of this ball properly. When he starts to make a decision and then alters it and gets away from it, that's where he gets in trouble. He needs to be decisive and certain with his reads. When he isn't, you get these type of decisions, these kind of floating lame duck balls. That was a bit of a concern for me with the Derek Carr tape. A great example here against the LA Rams. Late in the season, I mentioned it, not one of his best games. He's going to have Davante Adams on the slot right-hand side of the formation towards the bottom half of your screen. He's concerned here as we let this roll about the linebacker buzzing and closing this window. You can see, goes to make the throw. He's worried about the linebacker getting over. He pulls it down. I think he fits that ball in the window. Bad decision. We can live with it though. You want to be safe with the football in the red zone. He lets him clear the linebacker. He's got him open in that second window. Throws an absolute duck. Got to make that throw. Again, it all comes because of the double clutch and the inability to make the decisive decision. He's just not good at resetting and going again. It's probably the biggest weakness and deficiency that I saw in his game. So it's something to watch and something to think about as you evaluate Derek Carr. And another example from the same game, this one leading to an interception against the Rams. Look, there's some pressure here, and I get it. But Derek Carr has a chance to throw this ball. He doesn't like his first read, tries to step up, shuffles in the pocket, and then again, gets hit in the back, throws this floating ball, and ends up being an interception in the red zone. I just saw too many of these plays. This is, I think, definitely the biggest weakness. Got to be decisive, and you've got to be consistent with the decision making in the pocket. Last example we're going to look at actually isn't so much a double clutch as it is staring down a receiver. Just something to flag. We didn't see much of it. Eyes go left very early here. He just lets the corner drive on this football because he's looking at it for way too long. Little tip ball drill and ends up being a pick six. He threw a few of those last year. But Derek Carr, eyes are there straight away. He gives the DB a chance to drive on this football, just telegraphs it, and you end up seeing it go the other way for six. Disappointing, but just something to note. Alrighty, now on to the best part of the video, the cold weather issues. This is a huge storyline with Derek Carr, and yes, there are statistics that are quite large sample size, and yes, there's some merit and validity to them. But I just don't think he's a poor cold weather quarterback. Yes, he's played some bad games in prime time, and the Steelers was a perfect example of it. So let's take a look at that game from last year. The issues weren't because Derek Carr can't throw the ball in sub 45 temperatures or whatever threshold you want to set as cold weather. He had bad feet, bad footwork, and a bad base width in this game. First example, Derek Carr from under center. You're going to see him throwing to the right-hand side of your screen. I want to watch his feet and why he sails this ball to Davante Adams. Goes into his drop, everything's fine. He plants his left foot, you see the back heel hits the ground. There's no re-establishment of the left foot in the direction of this throw. He doesn't step into the throw. He's flat-footed, his head and his shoulders rise up through his throw, and as a result, where does the ball go? It goes high and outside. You see, there's no ability, or effort, I should say, to step into the throw and to re-establish the base, and that's why you see the high throw. Does that mean that Derek Carr cannot throw the ball in the cold? No, it most definitely does not. Have a look at this example from literally 2 snaps later. Throwing a great out route in an extremely tight window. Look at the location. Beats that defender, that DB diving downhill, and it's a touchdown to Hunter Renfrow. From the back angle, you're going to see it perfectly. A little bit of a better job re-establishing his base. But don't tell me that this man, you can see it right there, look at the feet, does a better job re-establishing little toe tap, get the bent knees, we're in a better base width position. Look at this location and window. He can throw the football in the cold. It doesn't get any better than that. But you've got to get your feet right. Pittsburgh, great pressure. You can see they're always hunting the quarterback. He got a little bit gun shy in the pocket. Got to get that right. Got to establish the base. And he'll make these kinds of throws. Another example, this time throwing vertically. Watch Derek Carr's left foot as the snap goes. Leaking away from the vertical throw. And that's why that ball sails and goes left again. Break it down a little slower for you. Derek Carr about to make this throw. But have a look where this left front foot goes. It leaks away almost so he's throwing with horizontal feet and shoulders. You can see he's almost standing. The result's no good. Sails that ball. Has to make sure he steps into this throw, keeps his shoulders pointing at the target, but he feels the pressure coming from the backside and that pressure coming through his left guard. He wants to leak away, and that's why he overthrows and sails that ball. Just something to watch. Again, like one snap later this time, Derek Carr gets it right. He climbs the pocket this time, better interior protection. He's able to step into his throw, is able to deliver it in the cold, good location, big gain, down the field vertically. But he can do it because he sets his feet. What I'm trying to tell people is it's never as simple as, it's cold, so Derek Carr doesn't like to play football. Get your feet right. There's bigger picture things to worry about with a quarterback than what the weather is. He played a poor game because he had poor footwork. He rectified it in this instance, again, corrected the mistake, and he throws a good ball. Derek Carr was poor in this football game. There's no disputing that. But it wasn't because of the weather. All right, let's look at the interceptions in isolation now. Here's the first one off of play action. Look, Derek Carr, does he get rid of the ball a little bit early here from a clean pocket? Yes, you could say that. But you tell me this isn't an accurate throw to a guy that he throws open. It gets tipped around, tip drill, it's an interception. But have a look at the location of this throw from Derek Carr. Bang. Tight end has his head around. He's giving him time. The timing is completely fine. And he puts it on his face mask. Is it a touch high? Maybe. This is a good throw. Derek Carr against what? 6-man pressure against the Steelers. Bangs it in there. Good throw over the middle. That should be a completion and a first down. Instead, ball's going the other way. You can't do much about it. Cold weather quarterback? Is that an issue because he can't throw in the cold? Don't think so. Second one, this time out of shotgun. Derek Carr, again, little play action, fakes the handoff to Josh Jacobs, throws the slant. Now look, this is a debate. He puts this ball on the back shoulder of his receiver. Now I understand why he wants to do that. He thinks the linebacker, I think it's Devin Bush, is going to come across and clean him up. I think he clears the linebacker here. He can actually put it on his front shoulder. But Derek Carr gets worried about keeping him clean, back shoulders it. Could be an inaccurate throw. I'm happy with either argument. But back shoulders it, again, tip drill, ends up being an interception. You can blame Carr for this. Again, I don't think it's because of the cold weather though. I think he's trying to protect his receiver. It might have been a bit of an inaccurate throw, but it's not because of the weather. It's not because Derek Carr can't throw because it's a little chilly out. It's just a busted play. This was the one that cost the Raiders the game. This was a huge miss. I'll let it run at full speed. This is a touchdown. This is a game-winning touchdown. Miscommunication, great scheme from Josh McDaniels. And he just leaves it outside. I'm not really sure why Derek Carr threw it so poorly. Yes, he ends up with a man at his feet because he kind of overclimbs the pocket. But this is a touchdown. If you throw this ball between the hashes and you lead him to the space, he misses. It's an interception, and that is game over. Pittsburgh win. And it was the end of Derek Carr's reign, really, as Raiders quarterback. But again, it's not because of the weather. He just made a flat-out miss. This is one of the few he actually had in the game where I thought that's a stinker of a throw. That's why I've highlighted it. It ended the game. It's on prime time. It's all anyone can remember. Derek Carr had a pretty good season, but this is all the masses can think about. So guys, that's my evaluation of Derek Carr and his play in 2022. A lot more good than bad. People think about the benching and the decision they made from a business perspective, the Raiders, but he played really well. There's so many aspects of his game that I think are very underrated. The tight window red zone throws, some of the pocket movements, his ability to throw on the run that no one seems to talk about from Derek Carr. He dueled with Patrick Mahomes and lost by 1. He beat Justin Herbert. You can win playoff games in the AFC with Derek Carr. People want Aaron Rodgers. There's so many ups and downs and unknowns with Aaron and the darkness retreat and everything that's going on. You can lock in Derek Carr today and it'll be a huge win for the New York Jets.